don't want to read like what's going on at the FLW. You know, we might mention some names that we follow, but other than that, it's all about us just hanging out and having a great time and highlighting stuff that's going around here. We might discuss some new products that are in the store. We might discuss products. We always have a few things that are going on, right, in this show. So number one, here's kind of how it's going to work. Ian and I are going to kick off the show. We always make fun of each other. Right? It's a good time.
Can't you have all these people on the show?
We're going to have all these people on the show.
Holy smokes.
Okay,
Okay,
so
man.
that's Randy, our producer. Okay, so...
5, 4, 3, 2...
Oh, there he is. There he is. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. See, nice. Nice. Monster. Look at that bad boy. Look at that tough one. Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show. Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Hey, Ian, does that sound familiar?
Yes, Ken.
Come on, why does it sound familiar, Ian? What kind of mood were you in on Saturday?
I was bad hateful.
Why were you hateful?
Because, you know, we flipped the script a little bit. Normally, I go out there and I start off early busting their heads and you get all hateful because you're not catching fish.
True.
But this week, you know, it was a little different.
It was a little different.
It was.
I went out, right? First hour and a half, 2 hours, I got 5 fish limit in the boat.
Yep.
You've got 3. You've
Yep.
broken off on a couple. You're not fishing clean.
Oh,
Things aren't going well.
I fished pretty clean.
Yeah, but you really didn't because you were frustrated. You tripped all over the boat.
I about
you were
threw
getting
the rod in the
mad.
lake.
You about, that's right.
I
Almost
about
threw the
punched
rod.
you a couple times.
About punched me and you were in a foul mood.
Because you were like...
Well, no. You were in a foul mood before that. And then, what do? We went fishing still.
Yeah.
Right? We're on Harrington Lake fishing the NBT
The
final.
best lake in the country.
No, final NBT term of the year.
Yep.
Right? And then what happens? We're out. We're doing okay. And then you decide you're in this foul mood. We get going. And then I'm like, look, if you're going to catch fish, you got to get out of this bad mood.
Yeah.
So you're like, let's hit this spot and then we'll run the river. You're like, okay, let's do it. But I said, if we're not running the river until you get out of your bad mood.
That is true.
And I said, the only way I'm getting out of your bad mood is I'm going to do this. Is this sound annoying? Is that annoying? And you're like, yes, it's very annoying. I said, great. So is your attitude. So I'm going to make that noise until you get out of your bad attitude. And what happened?
You did that noise for 24 minutes.
24 minutes I fished with that noise. Boats coming up next to us.
Yeah, we have people sitting right
trying to
beside
figure
us.
out what's going on. What happened though after that, Ian?
You know, we went up the river. I got in a better mood. I put my head down and fished, and I caught my limit and called a couple times.
Yeah, and what happened to both of us?
We both won.
We won the Harrington tournament on Saturday at the NBT. Great.
Throw up the picture.
Which
Throw up the
always, throw up the picture. Bam. Which
Look at them
always,
12 inches.
yeah,
buddy.
man, it was a rough day. Look,
was.
6.68 pounds won 15
Yeah.
boats. But what are you going to say?
We were the only people that had limits.
We're the only
so.
people that have limits.
Out
So,
of 15
you know what?
boats.
Tough day. It's not my probably most confident lake, but
You ate any of those fish?
we didn't eat any of those fish, Randy. No. So we had a great day. It was fun. We learned some lessons, right?
did.
Attitude's a big,
Attitude adjustment.
mental. Right? It was
Yeah.
good. But
I really
we got
let the
cut
lake
off
get
a
into
couple
my head.
times that day.
We did.
In
Most-
fact,
Troy
Troy was
witnessed it.
there.
He can talk
witnessed
about it when he comes on.
Sent me a text, said, you okay? Cut us off by like 15 feet.
Not even.
Just right
pulled right in
us.
front of us.
Not Troy, but somebody else.
yeah.
We don't know. But
That's okay.
anyway, it was good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hey, welcome to the show.
Hi, welcome back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the show.
the Cain
The
Poe
third-
Fishing Show. Sorry, we're just going on about our story.
Third one,
Yeah, number 3.
numero tres.
And so, how's it been the last 2 weeks? Besides the Harrington tournament, we talked about that already.
It's been fair.
Yeah, have you been any fishing other than that?
Yeah, I went to the pay pond.
You
summer
always
thing.
go to the pay pond.
You know, none of my buddies want to bass fish anymore. They all sold out, and they went and bought $700 pay pond rod and reels, and
Now they're doing that.
that's what was.
But I will tell you, I went out and visited Seven Lakes last night. I talked to Trenton for a while, and things are going. They're starting to heat up. I think the cool weather's starting to
make them bite.
again, so that's pretty exciting there. And then, of course, we get excited about bass fishing, right? That treats us to the weather is changing. And what's our next point? It's starting to get a little cooler in the morning,
Buzz
which
bait.
means what? Ooh, that's another
I
one.
like it. It's too cold.
Buzz bait. That was not my buzz bait sound I was giving you, but I hope your buzz bait does not make that sound.
My buzzbait, it's got a digital chip in it.
Right.
So it's.
Oh, is that how it goes? Oh, okay. You have lost it today. So, Seven Lakes is changing their hours, so make sure you check on Facebook.
They're posted on their
It's
Facebook.
posted there,
and
so
on the
Trenton
website.
wanted us to remind you.
Yep.
Check out his new hours. He's going to go as long as possible. I know Bill Reed's is going as long as possible.
Until people quit showing up.
Excuse me, until people keep showing up.
Yeah.
Right? So definitely check out those hours. A little bit of upcoming because we got a huge show tonight, and I'm super excited about it. But before we get there, a couple of things. So the NBT Barron two-day October 17th, 18th is
Yep.
on Barron. We're going to be fishing that.
Yep, sure.
And then the South Central starts this weekend.
Yep.
September 20th, so make sure that you get that on your schedule. Get down and start the South Central.
I got a KBN.
That's right. Kentucky Bass Nation
Cards.
Cardinal Series,
Yep.
sponsored by Bypass Bait and Tackle. Our friends Tracy
Tracy.
starts this weekend. By the way, let's see. That was originally supposed to be on Harrington Lake. It has switched to Cumberland.
Conley
Out
Bottom.
of Conley Bottom at
7 to 3.
7 to 3.
And all your registration you should be able to find online.
Online, right?
Actually-
or call your local
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, call your coach or call Billy Dameron.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
Billy
he sent me
Dameron
the link
at
to all of it.
at Winchester.
GRC?
Winchester, GRC in Winchester. Sorry, Billy. So with that being said, I'm rushing a little bit because we got a bunch of people here.
Yeah.
So Big Bass Bonanza. Also, I want to talk a little bit about this. October, I'm going to look on my phone. October 10th and 11th is the Honest Mike Outdoors Big Bass Bonanza out of Conley Bottom Resort. Register prior to September 25th at midnight. I think it's with a payout of $3,500. So check that out. You can go to honestmikeoutdoors.com and check that out. You can also visit more info. I think Mike Cassida from Cumberland
Yep.
Pro Lures is involved in that as well. So definitely check those out as we move forward. Sorry, have I missed anything? I know we got a lot to cover tonight.
Welcoming your sponsors.
Yeah, so that's a great thank you, Randy, for that reminder. So I would love to thank a few people. Number one, not in any particular order, but Purdy's Coffee. Some of my really great friends there have sponsoring our show, and so we're excited to have them on board. Great family friends of mine. We'd also like to thank Lewis Veterinary, of course. That's my brother. I have to plug him. So last name.
He's also a great vet, not just.
He's
your
also
brother.
a great vet. Yes, he's a great vet. Okay, so I'm not just saying that.
Does he take care of fish?
He in fact.
Sick fish?
So here's what's funny you say that. He's on. He's a mobile vet, but he's also downtown across from Jackson's on 3rd Street. So listen, you ask about the fish. He has literally put a fish to sleep, operated on it. And yes.
Get out of town.
So I'll have him on sometime. We'll talk about it.
Wow.
Okay, but he literally he figured out, he's graduated from Ohio State, and he
Holy
literally,
smokes.
you can put a fish,
That's fantastic.
anesthesia. You can put anesthesia on a
I was
fish,
just joking.
operated on a cyst. It was an expensive koi, I believe, and then
Did he remove the skin above its
some
eyeball?
cyst or whatever,
Yeah.
and then brought it back. It was amazing. So
I've seen him on YouTube doing that.
yeah, and then of course Chuck Fields from the Paddy Wagon. Can't hardly do anything without him. He's It really helps us at the store and does a lot for us here. So definitely go down. He's got some great events. I know it's been a tough year for a lot of restaurants and places and bars, so definitely go down there and hang out and support your local restaurants. That'd be awesome. So thank you, Chuck. Anyway, so let's get going. We got a massive show. Today, I really wanted to concentrate on high school fishing. You're going to notice that I got my customized Madison Central fishing jersey on, where we sponsor here at the Cain Pole, Madison Central.
Look, it says
it does say my name, and you've got yours because you fish for who?
Madison Central.
Great. And sorry, I've talked a lot today. So we also we help sponsor Garrett County, sponsor Estill County. We're going to have them on the show tonight too, so we're super excited. So let me give you a little bit of the lay of land on how this is going to go. So first off, we are going to have the Oberman brothers on here that just won the high school Kentucky Bass Nation State Championship. And I want to talk to a little bit to them about their journey to bass fishing. Like, what did it entail? What did they expect? What didn't they expect when they joined the team? Is this something, you know, was it a lot of hard work? What they had to do, kind of things they had to do. So I really want to educate. We get a lot of young adults, kids, middle school kids, parents that come in here and ask, what is high school fishing? Like, what does it mean? And I think a lot of people think that it's just going to be like this, you know, just, hey, I'm going to go out and fish.
Bait up your cricket.
Bait up your cricket and fish. And I'm not saying they all think that, okay? I'm just using it as a typical, but I think it's difficult for them to understand that. I've even taken friends of mine out this past year in March, where we went out and they were like,
wow,
they've never done 65 miles on our boat. They've never, you know, gone out with 80 other boats or fished a big tournament and have that rush, you know, and then have to try to go and what different line and what bait and all this stuff and spinning reel versus bait caster and why and flipping and pitching, and they just don't really understand all this, and it's not cheap. Bass fishing is not a cheap sport, I'm going to tell you. So something to be. So we're going to talk to them a little about their journey, and then we're going to do an Educate Randy session with them, which is always fun. We got like 5 or 6 baits.
Educate Randy.
Right? And I know you love that, and I'm sorry, but we're going to do it with them tonight.
Everyone's got to have a little fun every now and then.
And then I'm super excited to have the bass fishing coaches from Madison Central, Garrett County, and Estill County High Schools. I'm hoping that Hopper from Estill County is going to be here. I know he's had to work late, so he's going to try to rush over and get here. But if not, we definitely are going to miss him. But they are here, and then we're going to talk to them about who to contact. Like, when do you want to go to high school? What can you get involved as a middle schooler? What can you do to prep? You know, boats versus non-boaters and things like that. And I know you can talk a lot about it too, which we'll chat more about high school as it goes on. And then we have a special guest in the house today that I didn't know was going to come. Super excited about that, and we'll save it for later. Okay, so yes, a little bit of a tease. Wow. So I tell you what,
sneak peek, tell them a little something.
Little sneak peek.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Paw Patrol.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, who knows? He's excited. Anyway, so I tell you what, let's do this. Ian, did we miss anything?
No, sir.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. We'll talk about our next show. You'll be back up soon.
Yep.
And we're going to cut for just a minute, and we're going to bring up some guests.
1 minute, you better hurry.
We're going to cut in 1 minute.
No,
we have 1 minute.
You have 1 minute.
Oh, we only have 1 minute to get set up.
I'm
so
going to take a nap.
Here we go. You tell me when to go, Randy, because we're going to go right and now.
There he is! There he is! That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. Say nice. Nice. That's a monster. Look at that bad boy. Look at that tough, isn't he? Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show.
Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, I want to welcome you back. Hey, Ian and I were just chatting about the show earlier, and then we're super excited tonight. And sitting right next to me, I have Will and Clay Oberman, the 2019 Kentucky Bass Nation High School champions, and on Lake Nolan. Is that correct? Yeah. What I really want to do this show, once again, to highlight is just talk about a little bit about high school bass fishing. It's really the future of our sport, and I get a lot of kids, like I said before, and young adults that come in and go, I want to be on the bass fishing team, or I want to do this. What does that entail? And I want to learn. And so I thought it would be nothing better than talk to some two seniors, right? How old?
Yes.
Both seniors, right? With Garrett County High School, and talk a little bit about your journey, where you come from, like how'd you get into fishing? Did you expect bass fishing when you initially started high school it was going to be like this and so forth? So let me ask you this. First off, let's talk about your championship, right? Tell me a little bit about your day. How'd it go? Is it 1 day, 2 day?
Yeah, it was 2 days.
2 days? And so where were you after the first day?
We were in second place after the first day, and we weren't too far behind, but we knew we were going to have to catch a better sack the second day to have a chance. But
when did you know on the first day you were tracking, right, to a pretty good, you felt pretty good about it?
Not till about 2 o'clock. We caught our biggest fish. It was the last fish we caught. Once we flipped in the boat, I kind of knew we had a chance, but I don't know. I was still pretty nervous. But.
So that's a good point to everyone, right? Like, I know a lot of us, especially this time of year, you always hear, if you don't have your fish by 10 o'clock, it's over.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's par for a lot. Right? It's difficult to have. You know, we all know that 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. time frame is like the most comfortable and easy. You know, I wouldn't say easiest, but you feel more confident catching. And if you don't have anything by 10 o'clock, you're starting to get that mental. So did you have a limit by 10, or were you?
I think we had 3 fish in our boat by like 12 o'clock, and then we filled our limit out with some rats, but I don't know, it's just a tough day. He caught all the keepers we had until like 12 o'clock. I was catching like 12 inchers and stuff. I hooked one, then went to flipping the boat, and it hit our depth finder and flopped out. It was kind of I don't know, we were just kind of a rough go, and then we caught that one.
Turn it all around.
Yeah, but I mean, we never no matter how discouraged we get, we don't get that bummed out.
It's hard though.
Yeah.
Right? Especially at one. And then second day, you obviously just go back to the same spots, try to do something totally different?
Well, we fished the same spots, but we caught our biggest fish in a spot that the first day we went back there, and it was a real tight creek, and there was a boat in front of it, just like some weekend fishermen, so we didn't fish up in there. But the second day, we had it to ourselves, so we went up in there, and we never really caught a fish up in there, and we just thought we'd cover new water since what we'd already fished wasn't working out. So caught our biggest fish up in there pretty excited.
That's awesome, man. And then you won by what, like 4 ounces or something? Is that right?
About half
Close?
pound.
Half pound. So super excited. Great day, right? Great day for Garrett County. And so Garrett County's coach, of course, we'll have him on in a minute. But super, yeah, you've had a good run. It's been fun, right? Newspaper, all kinds of stuff going on. But let me ask this. So who runs the boat the most? Who talks the most? Right?
He drives I don't know, he's kind of a control freak, so he likes to drive the boat. But, I mean, I don't know, I kind of like fishing on the back sometimes, just focus on my fishing more, not driving the boat. But I'd say I'll probably talk more. Sometimes I get aggravated because I'm running my mouth.
Well, Will hadn't said a word yet, so I'm going to ask him what the real... So you run the front of the boat most of the time?
I don't like him getting up there and messing my stuff up.
Oh, yeah?
I usually like to drive the boat and be in control, but
Yeah?
I like to place it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm a little better at placing the bait where I want to than he is, so.
Oh, I knew it was coming. Let me ask this. Who makes, because I know I've got a fish partner I fished with for 8 years, right? And we get along great on the boat. And he's like, I'm probably more wearing my heart on my sleeve. He's more like, controlled, right? Whatever. And so which one of you can you both like say, hey, we don't like this spot, you go the next, or you disagree a lot, or what on the water?
We usually get along, but I'm usually the first to say I don't like this spot. I'm ready to go.
I mean, yeah, we definitely have had our arguments on the water, but now we kind of got it fine-tuned. Now we get along. If one does get pissed off, we just try not to talk. So
that's awesome. Last thing about that day, I think you've just kind of proven a little bit that sometimes it's okay just to go fishing.
Yeah.
You know, and I try to say that a lot, that we just get out there and we try so hard, and you listen to some of the pros talk about, you know, you start to panic, you know, you start to go faster and faster, and then you're not confident that spot, and then next thing you know, you can't do anything. And so, man, sometimes it's just, hey, we're out here having a great time, let's just go fishing, and maybe you'll run into a spot that you didn't fish before and catch fish, right?
In practice, you know, some days you win practice, and you just fish a bunch of spots, catch fish everywhere, and then the next day you can't get a bite. You just gotta throw it out the window.
I think some of the best pros in the world are the fastest to make adjustments on the water, right? For sure. So, all right, let's go back a little bit, because I know we got a lot of stuff tonight. Talk a little bit about your journey. Like, who got you into bass fishing? Let me ask that.
Well, I mean, my dad and we had a little bass tracker. I mean, I've fished my whole life, but none of us ever fished a tournament until high school. We all fished our same tournament, our first tournament on the same day. It was the Bradley Roy on Harrington. We didn't catch any keepers, but we caught about 10 fish. I mean, from there on out, I mean, I love fishing, but tournament fishing, just like competition, that gets me going. But I mean, I pretty much fished my whole life. My grandpa, he used to fish tournaments before me. I'd always go in his basement, see those big bass on the wall. It's always like, I don't know.
So you like the competition, or is that what drives you too?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit different tournament fishing than going out fun fishing. In fact, I talk to a lot of people that go like, well, I don't even want to fish if I'm not tournament fishing, right? And so it's hard to do, because you still got to have fun doing it. I think you still got to be able to go out and have fun fishing. So what would you tell, you know, kids that are coming up, middle schoolers, people that love fishing, that don't, you say you didn't fish a tournament until your freshman year, and that's a big change, right? Like, what was that tournament like, your very first, you know? How many boats?
Seemed like it lasted about 24 hours. And I can't remember how many boats. There was quite a few, though. We took our little bass tracker out there. We were about the smallest boat out there, but we had fun. I'll never forget that.
I think that's what matters. You don't have to have, the fish don't care what kind of boat you have. The fish don't care what color it is or anything else. It's all more of a convenience to the fisherman than it is anything else.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. You know, if you just want to get out and fish and you can get a boat and get in a high school team, it's awesome to be a part of. And it's a big community. And we'll talk about that with the coaches a little bit more.
Yeah.
So what would you tell them? What's your advice to, you know, freshmen coming in, somebody that's never fished a tournament? You know, what have you learned in 4 years of fishing? What's your next, what would you tell them?
I told them to try it out once if you're on the edge about it.
Yeah?
I used to play baseball, and then I tried the Bradley Roy once, and I figured that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to play any more baseball.
You want to play more baseball? Wanted to fish?
I mean, I really like to fish. I mean, I don't know what to say. Like, I guess if you're a newcomer, like, I don't know. When I started fishing, I didn't know anything about it, and then I fished that first tournament. That's pretty much thought about it 90% of my day since that day on.
Yeah.
I pretty much consumed 90% of my life, you know. Like every night I'm watching YouTube. I don't know, I just...
Well, so I think that's key, right? Time, I mean, we always talk about there's no replacement than time on the water. Right?
Yeah.
The more time on the water, the better you're going to get. You always learn. I mean, you got to study. You know, it's just like anything else. People just don't go out and randomly start going down a wall. I mean, granted, it is fishing. There is some magical to it, right? You can get up, all of a sudden drop your trolling motor at the bank and start going down the wall and catching fish, okay? But that doesn't happen as often as you think, especially when you're in a tournament. So
yeah, after that Bradley Roy, we spent about every weekend going down to Cumberland fishing, and then we spent the whole summer doing night fishing at Harrington.
Yeah, awesome. Now you all had a boat, right?
Yeah.
So that was a little bit of a bonus because you got a boat, but there's others that don't. So I don't want that to discourage from anybody, you know, getting into fishing. There's others that have a boat that need a partner, so for like that. So not everybody has brothers that, you know, you can do it.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you really wanted to fish in a boat, you know, you could go some of these Friday night tournaments. I mean, just ask everyone there, be like, be my boat captain. I mean,
Yeah,
Or you do BFLs.
Yeah.
great.
That's right.
That's a good way of being a co-angler and like a BFL. I mean, me and him, I haven't done that good, but I've met a lot of people, made friends. You know, like
I've learned a ton from co-anglers.
yeah. So Kentucky Bass Nation, great National Bass Trail. Ian, like, is my co-angler, so he's my junior for National Bass Trail. And so a lot of those events, you don't have to go all the way to the BFL. You can fish some of the local as a junior and compete against all the other juniors. and so forth. All right, so what's your next plans? Last question, where are you going? Are you going to school? You figured it out yet?
I don't know. I'd like to go to school fish. I mean, that's always been my dream, is just fish every day. But
Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, I guess,
You going to the same school?
I don't know yet. It's too far out to tell. I'd like to, though. I mean,
Yeah?
it's my partner, I guess.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You? Don't care? You're like, whatever.
I don't plan on not fishing, so just fishing.
Yeah. Well, I think what's interesting now is that there's a lot of schools around the country that don't have necessarily football, baseball, and everything else. So, you know, that they can offer fishing scholarships, you know, and things like that. And it gives them another avenue to have that. So, well, awesome, man. I want to congratulate both you guys, right, on a great year.
Thank you.
Winning the state championship, and appreciate you guys coming on. And we're going to talk a little bit about your coach and other coaches, you know, and talk a little bit about how these kids can get into bass fishing and how that all works. So we're going to take a break for a little bit. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be right back.
Oh, there he is. There he is. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. See, nice. Nice. Monster. Look at that bad boy. That tough one. Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show.
Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill, and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back. So we just got through talking to the Oberman boys that just won the Kentucky Bass Nation State Championship High School State Championship, I'd say, on Lake Nolan. What I wanted to do now is let's go to the bass coaches, right? And so two of the bass coaches and bass teams that I should say the Cain Pole sponsors and really helps out with is Madison Central High School and Garrett County High School. So we have, I'll let you introduce yourself. So Tony?
Tony Miracle. I'm the head coach of Garrett County Bass Fishing, and I'm just excited to be here.
Troy Blankenship, and I'm the head coach of Madison Central High School fishing team.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here. Most importantly, and I've said this 2 or 3 times now, but I'm going to keep iterating it. I think that a lot of the world sees bass fishing, and even some of my friends that go, well, I fished my whole life, and I take them out, then they're like, man, 22 rods in a boat, side imaging, down imaging, all this like electronics and just power poles and all these things, and they see this whole conglomerate of like technology and fishing, and it's like, whoa, I had no idea it was this advanced. And I think this has attracted a lot of high schoolers to come in and start these bass fishing teams in middle school. But what I really want to talk about is just, first off, tell me a little bit about bass fishing on a high school team, what they expect, you know, what do you think? Like, they came in as freshmen, they have never fished a tournament in their life. All of a sudden, what do you tell somebody that's never fished a tournament in their life and their first one? What do you tell them?
Make 1,000 casts. You know,
That's it.
You got to get the bait in the water. You got to get it in front of their face, and the fish eat it. You know, you just got to get out there and cast. You can't get discouraged. You heard the story about Ian and Kent, you know, having a bad day, and they just do goofy stuff, and you know, it's what you got to do. You just got to cast. You got to, you know. I would like to say though something real quick though. You don't have to have all the fanciest boat, the fanciest equipment.
Amen.
It doesn't matter. You know, high school rules. You have to have a 17-foot boat. It's got to have working live wells, and you have to have a motor
And a boat captain.
and a boat captain. That's all you need.
That's right.
When my kids first started fishing, we started in a little bitty old 17-foot glass stream boat, and honestly, they fished better out of that boat than when we got the big Triton.
That's right.
So, I mean, you don't have to have nothing fancy.
You know, and being young too, I mean, kids see all the latest and greatest in the electronics and power poles and, you know, the Ultrexes and the Ghost and the new Garmin trolling motor, and, you know, they think they've got to have that stuff in their boat to compete, but You don't.
That's right.
I mean, I've been whipped many a times on the lake in some tournaments. You know, guys fishing in a small boat with 35 horsepower motor. Those are the guys you got to watch out for.
Right.
In a lot of tournaments. So you don't need all of that to compete.
So you talk about that. So let's say I'm an 8th grader, right, or a 7th grader, and I'm excited about fishing, and I tell my dad or whatever, we fished my life, or maybe he hasn't. Maybe they don't come from a family of fishing, but they love it. Okay, they love it, and they want to get involved. Tell me, what is their first step? You know, do they contact the school?
The first step really is to maybe contact somebody that they know that's on the fishing team, excuse me, or contact the local coach. I always, in the beginning of the year, I put it out there with the schools. I contact the principals. I get involved with the administration at the school, and so we make announcements over the loudspeakers. We put it out on Facebook. We send out flyers. You know, we let everybody know, hey, if you are interested in fishing, come and talk to us. Come to a meeting. You know, we'll go from there. If you don't have a boat, it doesn't matter, because I have people right now that they're on a team, but they don't have a partner, but they have a boat. You know, we need you. Come fish, Gary County.
Yeah, we're kind of the same situation. We make announcements when we're going to start things up, our season. Word of mouth, all of our kids are on social media, and they're constantly sending stuff out about our team and when things are going to take place. We've got our big swap meet that we run every year. We have over 1,000 people that come through the door, and tons of kids that are, come in with that. We're able to talk with them, and they get to speak with our kids, what high school fishing is all about. And, the awesome thing about, if they'd have had this when I was in school, golly, I would have gone crazy, because all I wanted to do was fish.
Yeah.
And some people think that's crazy, but, it's no different than a kid who plays basketball. I love basketball, but I love fishing more. So to offer this sport in high school, it gives kids something to be a part of. They get to represent their school. They get to do something that they love. They get to compete. Man, we love to compete. When we go out there and we fish tournaments, it's not all, jokes and giggles. We'll cut up at the ramp. We'll have a good time. Everybody gets along.
As soon as the first boat goes off, it's over.
Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on. And then you get out there and things happen like you guys were talking about, losing fish or, things not going right. It gets, it gets to you. I mean,
It's hard.
Ian, I've seen him, come to a full shake panic mode before, Saturday.
Listen,
Hey,
Troy.
Saturday on. Hey, what about Saturday on Harrington?
Listen.
When I drove by you all and I just let a big stream out, it tore into pieces.
Listen,
I wasn't even fishing against it.
I'm in the boat with him, and you drive by and do this.
Yeah.
And what does he turn around and look at me and goes,
Man,
Troy's got him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Troy's just being goofy with you. How do you know anything? He's like, oh, I know. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
I get in his head.
I know
It's
how to get in
mental.
his head.
I
That's
know.
Another nice thing about bass fishing in school is that not everybody's cut out to play football and basketball
Exactly.
and baseball. And
That's
this
right.
is another avenue, another vehicle that kids that are not that athletic can get into and be successful. I mean, my kids love to play basketball and football and that kind of stuff, but my daughter's going to college right now.
Hey, why is she going to college? To what?
To bass fish.
Which means
Free college.
it's free, but it's
Dad and Mom
for
don't have to pay.
everybody, right?
It is for everybody.
Okay.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter.
There's all
It
kinds
doesn't
of
matter.
co-ed teams out there, everything.
Yes.
Tons of people are
Absolutely.
fishing.
Absolutely.
And we've got, a large percentage of the kids on our team, they do play football. Ian plays football.
Yeah.
Kyle Snowden plays. We got a bunch of kids that are, on other sports teams.
Sure.
And that's all right.
So let me backtrack just for a little bit on the boat thing, because I think a lot of parents would go, we don't have a boat, or we can't afford a boat maybe, or we don't know what boat to buy or anything like that. But my kid loves to fish and he wants to be a part of it. He should still come to the meetings, hang out, because what you're saying is
Absolutely.
you got a lot of boaters, and let's clarify language, right? What we mean by a boater is that person owns their boat or has that boat. And then a non-boater means that you could be on their team
Yes.
fishing, but it's not your boat, right? You're kind of a partner on their boat. So,
And I encourage kids, come on. You may not have a partner to fish with, but you can still be involved. You can still get the jersey. You can still go to the functions. You can still, then you never know when somebody is sick and they can't fish. Well, guess what? You can jump right in there and fish and, and go
yeah,
out with them.
and also, you fish sanctioned events that you put together, and you might have a different schedule, right? I mean, you don't. Some of the events you have the same, but some of them might be different. Like this weekend is a Kentucky Bass Nation, right? And that's not you might not go as a team, or you might go as a team, but they could go, right? Like
Absolutely.
so, then you can go fish a high school event and not be, necessarily go with your team. Like you can go. There's other high school events to go fish constantly, or you can fish adult events.
You do have to be part of a club.
Yeah.
So that club does have to be a registered club with Bass or SAF, and you get that through your sponsor, we'll call it, or coach or whatever. But you do have to be part of that. But Ian could fish with Clay in one of those events because they're both registered with Bass.
Even though they're different schools, doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
Right? So they could have a partner somewhere else and hey, that's my buddy, goes to a different school, we're going to go fish an event. Okay, so we talked about, the kids encourage them, go to the meeting, hang out, see if they like it. You encourage them, Clay encourages them, let's go fish that first tournament, see what you like. But let's talk a little bit about the parents, okay? Because money, sponsorship, fundraising, especially this year, okay? Bass fishing's not cheap, okay?
No.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's the most expensive sport out there.
Okay, it's not. And if you think it is, then you need to come.
Well, let me say this. We've got the most awesome parents in the world, and you probably feel the same way
absolutely.
about yours
For
too.
sure.
It's amazing in the fishing community how involved the parents actually get in this, and because they know their kids love it so much and they want to be involved, and they jump into it head first. I mean, I think about this with my oldest son fished, and then my youngest son is on the team now. How many parents, when their kids are involved in a sport, actually get to participate in that sport with their kid? It's really cool to be out on the lake, while your kid's competing. I mean, you're not fishing, and you're basically running the big motor, and you may give them a tip or two, but they're making their own decisions, and you get to
So explain that for a minute, right? So what you're talking about is a boat captain, right? And as a parent, all high schoolers have to fish with a boat captain in the boat, correct?
Yes.
So there has to be an adult in the boat. Like I could be a boat captain for somebody if I sign up, insurance, you got your boat, all that stuff, right?
Also, we'll sign you up.
You can provide. But my point, my point.
Absolutely.
Usually a parent or sometimes a parent friend or whoever,
Grandparent,
like
church member, next door neighbor. It doesn't matter.
We've had moms, boat captains before. Heck yeah.
So it's about having a boat. You can have a boat captain. You get to spend all day. Now you can't fish as a boat captain, okay?
Correct.
But the two can fish. They do their own thing all day. I know your all's dad, right, was out there the whole time, right, watching you fish, which is agonizing. If you love to fish, to watch 8 hours, I'm just kidding.
It can be brutal.
It can be brutal, but you do. You're right. You get to spend time with your
And
kids
there
or
are certain
friends.
times where there's open tournaments, like say Garrett County puts on a fundraiser tournament where the boat captain could actually fish against the other boat captains.
Yeah.
So there is some fun for the boat captains as well.
Yeah.
It's not always just sitting in the boat and taking a nap or playing whatever.
I have learned a lot about my electronics while they're fishing. I can sit there, and piddle, and I've learned all kinds of things by doing that.
Except for the time I had to fix yours.
Yeah, I've screwed a lot up too.
And sponsors, we have amazing sponsors at Garrett County. Town and Country Shoe Outlet, Anglers Outpost Marine, the Garrett County Sheriff's Department. I mean, the Cain Pole, Whitaker Bank. I could go on and on and on. You can see them all over my jersey. Without them, we would not be possible. We would not have. And the parents, don't get me wrong, I mean, moms and dads.
And we're the same way. I mean, our community is
absolutely
awesome.
They love it. It's amazing how much they get behind these kids and support and get out there.
And the sponsors are important.
Absolutely.
But even more important, a lot of the kids bring the sponsors to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
It's not the school going out to find the sponsors.
Absolutely not.
You tax the fishermen.
That's right.
You go find sponsors and bring them back.
Yes.
And you try to raise a certain amount of money to bring to the school because, once again, it's not just the bait, it's the gas money, it's the hotels, it's entry into the tournaments. It's
right. And I could go out there and talk to all of these people and raise the money, but it builds them, it builds their character, it gives them a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
The kids get to go out. Nobody likes public speaking. How many kids are like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to death. You know, so I might go with them, and you know, they'll start it off and get to talk, and then I can iterate from time to time, just take some of the pressure off. But it's important that the kids get out there and make those connections.
Yeah. Kids are used to texting and social media. Face to face, they don't get that much anymore. So it's something that they need to do.
Which, by the way, you're not allowed to use your phone, correct? Except emergency
Correct.
situations on the water.
Yep. No phones
Check
allowed.
the
No
weather.
phones, no text
Unless
messages,
as a
no
boat
nothing.
captain, if your wife calls,
That's
Yes,
right.
you
got to
answer it.
That's different.
Right, that's an emergency.
That's different.
You
Yeah,
answer
that's
it.
right.
You better answer.
Yeah.
That's
Mama calls.
You better,
and
mama, make sure you're
answer the
okay.
phone.
But there are some rules. There's some rules in place for the boat captains and the fishermen, right? They can't
Yes.
go over certain miles per hour, right?
It depends.
Life
Depends on the
jackets,
tournament.
things like
Life
that. There's a
jackets.
lot of things, but you'll learn all that in your meeting. So
Yes.
I think overall, what do you think? What would you tell, these kids that want to be on a team, whether they're in 10th grade, 11th grade, what if they first for the first time, whatever? What would you encourage them to do, and how would you get the parents to support them? Because if they don't fish, they don't understand either. You're lucky if you get somebody that fishes, right? One of us fishes. We got kids. They're growing up. It's different. But if those that don't know anything, they know a worm.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they're not used to this.
I really think that the main thing is to let the community really see what your organization is doing. Get them in the newspapers, get them on social media. Let them first see, hey, these kids are out here working. They're out here doing community service. They're out here fishing. They're having fun. Their grades. I have kids on my team right now that their grades were in the tank, and now they are excelling because if you don't make a certain grade point average, you're not fishing for me.
That's
and
right.
mine's higher than the requirement. I go a little bit extra.
Yeah.
You're going to have good grades. You're going to do good at home because if mom says, hey, Billy's not doing good at home, Billy's sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
And it encourages them. They
That's right.
excel.
It's like every other sport, grades come first. I'm a teacher. I throw that down their throat. School's a whole lot more important than fishing. I mean, heck, I'd love to fish professionally, but I know that didn't happen.
But just come and check it out. Come to a fishing event. Come and see, the excitement. Come and see the aura that happens. Come and see what's going on there and watch the weigh-ins. Talk to the other anglers. Talk to the other fishermen. Talk to the other parents. I'm just telling you right now that my wife is amazing. The most unbelievable support system that you could ever. The kids, we used to make fun, we call her credit card because she was our biggest sponsor.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, without moms and dads, none of this is possible. It's really not. And so you got to get them involved also. You want them coming to the meetings and coming to the events and getting with the other parents and, have cookouts together and have stuff, where you're
And
social distance.
And to help with the money, not just the sponsors, everything else, but there are programs like we give them a major discount, right? Here at the shop for all, not for the anglers, but the captains as well.
Yes.
Okay, to come in. I know that you got programs through Lou's, other
Abby Garcia,
Abby Garcia,
Berkeley.
others that have programs that help out sometimes through dealers, sometimes direct,
Yep.
right? That help out. So I know that's huge. So there is a financial availability, right, to help
Sure.
out there.
And these
as
big
much as
companies
possible.
know that these kids are the future. If you want
Right.
fishing to continue, right here is where it starts.
Right.
Is Kentucky is the #2 biggest state in the United States for organized high school bass fishing.
What are we behind? Alabama?
Behind
Is that-
Alabama.
Alabama's #1.
Yeah.
And it's
Which they have some Great Lakes down there. So
they
I
are,
get it.
absolutely.
Back to the equipment, you were talking about kids just getting
Yeah.
started. I mean, of course, you can spend $1,000
But you don't
on
need
a
to.
combo. You don't need to. You've got good loose stuff in there, combos for what, $50?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a kid can start with.
Shimano, Luz, Abby
And-
Garcia, Daiwa, they're all, you
It
know what I
doesn't
mean?
matter if you got a zip code 33.
No.
It doesn't really.
Just come, get on the water.
Let me tell you, nobody cares when you come to the weigh-in with a sack of fish.
That's right.
What you caught them on
Right.
until they start asking.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you that what's interesting that you say that when you're on the water, nobody knows what you're doing but you two. You know what I
Right.
mean? And so there's there's a etiquette to that. Okay.
Sure.
But on the flip side, nobody knows what bait you're throwing. Nobody knows what you're throwing. Finally, he's here. He made it. Anyway, we'll get you on later. Oh, it's gonna happen, Hopper. So we're gonna throw it. So everything's good, So I think it's the fish don't care.
No.
So I encourage you You know, you're going to get into a sport. It's just like anything else. You get something, you want to get something a little nicer, you want to get something a little nicer, right? But
Sure.
start. You don't have to start
That's
out
right.
here.
And how do you get better at fishing?
Yeah.
You practice. That's
Right.
just like basketball, football. You
Get
know,
on the
Charlie was
water.
talking about that. You know, he was talking about casting. How important casting. If you,
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be a good fisherman, you got to be able to make good casts.
Man.
You don't have, you know, cast inside your house.
There's a lot of
You
people.
can do,
Yeah, and there's a lot of people that come in the store and go, man, I've tried it and I can't do it. You know, and you can do it. You just got to go
gotta
practice.
that's right.
You got to go take a cornhole board, flip right there on your driveway, flip in a bucket, do something, right?
You know how many baits are hanging in trees around my house from my boys learning to throw a bait caster?
Some of those are from you, right? Just recently?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think something that's important too with, you know, getting back to the team aspect is that a lot of schools have a lot of different teams, and yes, you are competing against each other, but you're still competing together and to work together. You don't have to say, hey, I'm doing this exactly, but help each other out. You're a team. If you look at the colleges like McKendree and Bethel and all these big colleges, Montevallo, they're all in the top 10. They're all in the top 20 because they get together and they help each other. You know, if you got a team that's in last place, a team that's in the middle, a team that's in first, you know, you got to work together. You know? And it's hard because you do have parents. They want their kids to be number one. And hey, I do too. But you know, the team, everybody needs to get together and work together, and the team will be successful, which will make the individuals more successful.
Awesome. All right, so let's end on this because we're always going to go long. You know me, I go long anyway.
Long-winded.
So,
Not you.
so what would you say about high school bass fishing all with somebody just coming up going? What would you encourage them to do? What's the first step? Whether you got a boat or not, doesn't matter.
It's simple. I mean, if you want to do it, come on. You know,
Okay.
I mean,
come
come on.
talk to me.
Yeah, same thing at
Call
Madison
me,
Central.
text me, email, come knock on my door. I'm a small town, Garrett County. Everybody knows where I live. Come and see me. My wife's a school teacher. Go see her.
Yeah.
You know, I promise you, we'll get you where you need to be. Come fish.
And if
We
you
need
don't
you.
know, right, there's people that do know.
Absolutely.
Okay, so any of you know all the other coaches, a lot of the coaches in the state.
Yep.
Like I'm not going to bring Hart, but he's here, right, from Estill County. Coaches the bass team there, amazing guy. Does
Super
a
guy.
super guy.
Super
Does
guy.
let's just talk about him for a minute because he's going to get upset. Okay,
Super guy.
super guy, loves bad boy jigs,
Loves
right?
bad
Loves
boy
bad boy jigs, right? And he's got some cool stuff coming out. I tell you what, in the next, hopefully soon, all right, we'll talk about that one day. We'll have him back on the show. But also Billy from Clark County as well.
Yes.
George Rush Clark.
Another
So
great guy.
another.
And
So
just real quick, and with the Obermans, they did win the state championship, but they also qualified for the 2020 Bass National Championship that's going on in October at Kentucky Lake at Paris Landing.
yeah.
They'll be leaving on October the 19th.
How many boats are there?
It's going to be about 400 boats.
400.
This is the best of
boats.
the best all over the country, all over the whole United
this is a
States.
big one.
California to Florida, you know.
Yeah.
So
It's where dreams
an
come
honor.
true.
It is. It really is. And just the lessons, the people that they'll meet, the relationships they're going to have, it's just an incredible journey.
Yeah.
You know.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to say thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for
and
having
talking
us.
a little
Yeah.
bit about high school bass fishing. Hopefully, next spring we'll do this all again, and we'll talk about how the year's gone, everything else. I know that we were worried about with COVID and everything else going on. But Kentucky Athletic Association said, "Let's go."
They are.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Thank
so
goodness.
Things
We're-
are starting to pick
we're
back
full
up.
swing.
Yeah.
So here's what I'm going to tell you. I said this a couple weeks ago. If you are fishing, please be patient with the tournament directors.
Yes.
Okay. They are only allowing so many at each. You know, when you go to weigh in your fish and everything like that. So just please be patient. It's
And if you
not
wanna
easy
keep,
right
if you wanna
now.
keep having tournaments,
Right.
that's what has to be done.
That's right. Or they'll just stop them again.
Yes.
So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We got a huge special guest coming on in just a few minutes. In fact, 30 seconds, probably a minute when Randy yells at me. But thanks, guys,
Go
for
GC.
coming back on. Right?
Madison Central, baby.
Madison Central.
Gary, baby,
2-1, 2-1. Where's my jersey?
National championship.
Hey, we've got a state championship.
That's true. You ready now? Yep. We're good.
Oh, there he is. There he is. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. Say nice. Nice. Monster. Look at that bad just another show.
Welcome to the Cane Pole Fishing Show. The Cane Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Awesome. Hey, look who we got. It's Paw Patrol himself, Charlie Evans. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Oh, man.
Watch the show. It's amazing.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
doing
you.
great.
Yeah, we're having a great time. Hey, listen, you were randomly driving by, right? Just randomly driving by. You looked up, saw the cane pole. Like, I need to go in there and talk to Kent.
Well,
and then, boom, we're on a show.
I can't pass up any tackle shop. I mean, it's just, it's like a lady is for a flea market. You know, they got to go in, a tackle shop, I've got to go in.
That's right. That's right. Well, hey, listen, in all seriousness, I gave you a call. We were doing a high school bass fishing show tonight, and we started with, you know, the seniors that won a state championship and are going on to a big tournament that they're prepping for. We went to the coaches about getting there. And then, you know what? It even goes further than that, right? It goes down to the young kids, and I know that that's where your heart is and your passion is. Even though you love to fish and compete, okay, we know that, but that's where your heart is. And so I wanted to bring you on, talk a little bit about, you know, what if I am 3, 4, 5, 2, 7 years old? What do I do?
Well, I'll tell you, fishing is great, and we've heard it all along with these fine young men that won the state championship. Shows you the character. Fishing's a character builder, and it's good for the character. It's good for the country. It's good for our sport. It's something that we need to cherish and take care of. And I've often said we have a lot of obstacles in the way. Young kids do, and with we need to have quality time outdoors with family to maintain a good, strong sport and a good, strong country. Fishing is a great way to do that. Fishing is a fantastic way. But the worst thing in the world you could do is take a young kid out fishing and spend it all day long fussing about line tangling up. And so that's where Kid Casters, the company that I work with, got involved. They came out with this tremendously designed piece of equipment where the line comes out of the reel up through the rod without any eyes, and so it cannot ever tangle up. It's tangle-free rod. So any kid can grab this and go fishing without tangling up, or adult, or a single mom that wants to take their kid out and don't know anything about fishing. A Kid Caster's tangle-free rod is the way to go because they can use this. It comes with a practice plug for in the house, won't break any windows or anything, but this is a real fishing pole. And if you're not sure, just go on YouTube, look up Toy Rod Challenge, and see me win a tournament with one of these. It's a real rod and reel, and it's a great way to get kids started and to free them from electronic prison.
Yeah.
They face that all the time. Electronics are great, they're fantastic, but it shouldn't be life-consuming. And so we need to maintain that family union, the outdoors, God's creation for us, and the greatest way to do that is get the family, go out, do some fishing, and have fun.
You know, it's funny that you say that, and we talk about tangle free and all these old rods, Zepco 33s that we used to cast with, and the micros and all that. One of the things that I like to relate to, where my wife's a dietitian, if you put a vegetable on a plate, it takes like 18 times. She's gonna yell at me for this, but it takes like 18 times to put that vegetable on a plate before they really want to try it, right? Because they don't know, what it tastes. So I use that as an encouragement to say, hey, take your child out fishing. They're going to get frustrated anyway. They're not going to catch something immediately, or maybe they will. And in 30 minutes, they're done. That's okay, right? Go back again and keep going until they finally catch that fish on their own. This is the first, I remember my kid first caught a bass on a Ned rig by himself. Right? Now all he wants to ever do is fish the Ned rig. Right?
My biggest advice for parents is especially for parents that are into bass fishing, into competitive bass fishing, is don't take your child bass fishing right off the bat. Do not do that. Take them out to a pond or a creek or anywhere with live baits and a bobber where there's lots of bluegills or crappie, something where they can get lots of action.
Right.
And because, like I said, if they see that bobber go down and they're able to set the hook and reel in a live fish, I watch YouTube after YouTube after YouTube. The smile is a mile wide, and they are addicted, hooked for life, in the greatest addictions for the world. There's a lot worse addictions, but bass fishing will come. Don't start that way, but get them out there, get them outside, have fun.
Yeah, awesome. You talk to a lot of bass clubs, go around, and I think there's 4 F's, right? Although other people like to put in another F, like food and things like that, but okay, there are 4 major F's that you talk about, and I'll let you elaborate a little bit about that.
I love speaking to high school fishing teams and college fishing teams, being around young people, getting them involved in the sport. That is our future. That's our business. It's everything to us. And so I said the most important thing is to be able to get your F's in the correct order. Don't get them out of order. Get them out of line. And the 4 F's are faith, family, friends, and then fishing. So if you get fishing too far up in that category, it won't be a great ending. It needs to be in that order. And so faith, family, friends, and fishing. Don't ever put fishing in front of any of those. And you get those in order, you're going to have a great life, a fun life, a fulfilling life, and a productive life.
I think my wife thinks I put fishing sometimes a little high. Right? I can tell you.
I've been called a fishing addict myself, but I told my wife, I said, there is a cure for my addiction. She said, what's that? I said, 6 foot of dirt. That's right. That's the only cure is.
That's right.
And I'm involved with Kid Casters because that gives me the opportunity. Paw Patrol gives me the opportunity. I travel with the characters. Yeah. With Sky and Marshall and make appearances with them. And that gives me the opportunity to talk to not just the kids, but mostly to their parents or grandparents or caregivers, whoever it was, about the importance of getting them outside and getting them started.
Yeah, and then used to be, if I'm allowed to bring this, used to be with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles way back in the day too.
I started with Turtles and had a great time there. And then the Nickelodeon folks wanted me to switch to Paw Patrol, and I said, I don't know. I've been pretty much branded with the Turtles, and I'm not sure I want to.
They're pretty hot, though.
Oh man, this is the greatest move I've ever made, and it's very satisfying because the kids know Paw Patrol, and again, they're good characters. They're not something that's a bad influence on their life, and it gives them, like I said, they will travel for up to 6 hours to come and visit and get their picture taken with Sky and Marshall, and let me talk to the parents and show them about our tangle-free rods that they can use, and I have more fun doing it. It keeps me young.
That's right. And speaking of that, you just got back from term up north. I know you came down, right? You were talking, you're like, hey, look, right? If I could just catch more fish, I'd be doing good. But I think that's a point to be taken, that no matter how much experience you have and everything else, you're not going to always have a great day on the lake. Right? You're not going to always catch fish all the time.
I will say this, on the water, if you're out there on the water in God's creation, every day is a holiday and the next day is Thanksgiving. Even if you're not catching fish, it's still a fantastic day. But the thing that is more fun than fishing is catching. Right. And so we spend a lot of our time. And this is one of the great things about our sports. The greatest people in our sport are able to, they want to, willing to, readily share everything that they've learned with other people to help them be better anglers and to catch more fish. So don't be afraid to approach any professional angler and ask them questions. They're more than happy to share, so that help your fishing become a better experience for you and for young kids. And it's, like I said, it's the greatest sport in the world. So the high school fishing and college fishing have basically saved our entire industry, saved our bacon, and is our future. And what's so exciting is to see all the females involved. Yeah. And there's no, like I said, the bass has no idea who's on the other end of the rod. They don't know. They don't have a clue. And so, girls, come on out. Come on out. We told them for years it was man's work. We were lying. Come on out. We have a lot of girls that can give the guys a lesson.
That's right. I will say this, one thing I think that never gets old. I think that we see all these professionals on tour, and all you see is catching big fish, and they go to the ponds, they record these videos, and they're hooking 6-pounders and 7-pounders and all this. But I think you can attest, the joy never goes away, even setting a hook on a 13-incher, right? I mean, it just joy of catching a fish doesn't ever leave.
Of course, I'm born and raised, educated in Berea, went to Silver Creek, then to Berea High, and then eventually Berea College. And I spent most of my Berea College spare time wading Silver Creek, just outside of Richmond, with a little bitty rod and reel fishing with Helgramites. Yeah. And ended up one of 300 professional anglers in the entire world. And so just getting started is in loving, having the love and the passion for it, and wanting to make sure that you protect the sport and the environment and the species is, got to save it for the future generations.
Yeah, for sure. Well, hey, listen, thank you for coming on. Thanks for stopping by. I know you just got back. Literally, you said, hey, I'll be back Wednesday, and here you are. And it's already getting late, so I know it's been a long trip. But
It's past my bedtime, but at any rate, thanks for having me. And what you're doing supporting these high school teams is to be commended. And tell everybody out there, even if you're not a fisherman, get involved with high school fishing. It's a great thing to do for your kids, your country.
Awesome. Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yep, take care. We'll be right back. We're gonna wrap up the show. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be right back.
Oh, there he is. There he is. That's what I'm talking about. Kiss it. There you go. Say nice. Nice. That's a monster. Look at that bad boy. That tough, right? Isn't it? Look at that. Yes, look at that. Nice. Look at that. It's another show.
Welcome to the Cain Pole Fishing Show. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary, Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill, and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon, Irish Pub. Enjoy the show.
Hey guys, we got a whole panel here now, and Ian, I think this has been a great third show. We're super excited, right? Yeah, and one of the things that we always do is the educate Randy session, because Randy doesn't know anything about fishing.
Hey.
He's learning.
He knows a little bit.
Oh, he's learning. Sorry, he's learning.
I can eat anybody
He's
under
learning.
the table.
So we are. He's going to randomly go get 4 or 5 baits, and let's chat about them. Right? We'll let you guys. I'm not even going to talk that much. I'll let you 3. No, that's a lie. We'll talk. But anyway, we'll talk a little bit about how we can use these baits, what they're for. How would you fish with them? Right? So
Okay, this is the Kenny Rogers bait.
okay. So first bait they picked was the Gambler 4-inch Ugly Otter Black and Blue Glitter.
Take you one of these out and
you want to
smell
take
it.
out?
Oh, they smell just mighty fine. Oh, take a whip. Just
Ooh, those are bad.
big garlic.
All right, how'd you fish them, boys?
Throw it on a Texas rig, flip it.
Yeah.
Texas rig, flipping.
You got that big paddle tail, probably displaces quite a bit of water and those bushes and stuff. If the water's dirty, they can fill that with their lateral line and stuff. So
Yeah.
that scent too. Scent. A lot of people forget about scent. They just think about sight and then what they feel, but scent. I think that plays a lot bigger contribution than a lot of people think.
So it's interesting because it's kind of got that beaver style look to it.
Yeah.
Right. And so a lot immediately you think of a flipping bait, right? But you could potentially use it as a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you like that kind of trailer. It's not my trailer pick, but definitely. Or you can put it on shake head, right? Maybe. I don't know. You never know. Here's what's fun about it. You can play around with your baits, okay, and do all that kind of stuff and figure it out. You know, you don't have to throw the norm.
You could even throw it on a Ned head.
I know, there's all kinds of stuff I should have said.
Hey, this one's like candy.
Hey, let's get another one. What's that one?
It's cool. Cherry something. Right?
Go, pick it. Go.
This is a Ned bomb shot.
Ned bomb shot.
Who's
Yeah.
Ned?
Ned is Ned. Zed's
It's a bomb
dead,
shot.
baby. Zed's dead.
Zed is dead. That's
Okay.
okay though. So it's the missile bait bomb shot in cherry blossom.
All right. So talk a little bit about this. So Z-Man came out with the
Ned rig.
TRD,
Yeah.
which is the Ned rig. And then so it's been a really popular bait. So they've come out with, other companies started coming out with other types of Ned Ocho.
Ned bomb.
Right, Ned
the
bomb,
original
and
Ned
this
bomb.
is the what?
Bomb shot.
Yep. So
Yep.
how would we fish this?
Originally I'd start off first thing, probably drop shot. But
Okay.
I mean, you could even put it on a Ned head and fish it a Ned.
All right. So is it called the Ned bomb shot or just
No,
the
it's
bomb,
just bomb shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd definitely fish this on a drop shot. It's bright color and pretty good for smallmouth. They're pretty visual feeders, so.
So I made a pretty good pick.
You made a really good pick.
That'll be Randy.
That's right, you did. Awesome.
Okay.
All right, bomb shot, drop shot. Okay.
What is this?
Drop shot.
This is heavy. Watch it.
It's
Okay.
please hit him right in the
Yeah.
face.
Hope. Oh!
Fish clips.
One of the most important things that you should always have in your boat, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What are they?
You get one, starts floating up on its side. You hook these on their bottom fin, keep it kind of straight up. Because when a fish starts floating up on its belly, that's
bad
pretty much
news.
game over from there.
All right, so let's explain. Fish get the bends similar to what a human does if they come up too fast if you catch them too deep.
Yeah.
So what happens is their air fills up in their belly, right, and they flip to their side. So you can either do one of two techniques. It will kill the fish because of how they float. So if you find your fish floating in your live well, you can do one of two things. A, you can take the weight clips, and sometimes it's a bigger fish. You got to clip two or three of them on there. All right, you clip them on their fin, and it pulls them down like this until they slowly get the air out of their bladder. Or B, you actually then make a fizz tool, which we carry in the store, and you can go. I think it's 3 out from the fin, right, and 2 down, and you shove a needle right in their bladder. But the needle actually has air coming out the backside, so it's not like a syringe where there's no air at the back. You release the air, and then it's amazing. As you go down, the fish will actually bubble as it goes down.
So you like
Or you can also.
It's actually called fizzing a fish.
So I thought you'd use
You
like
can go
little
straight down the throat,
decompression
Yeah,
chambers,
you can
like
actually go
scuba
straight
diving.
down the throat. That's right. I didn't learn that way, but I
The way I learned
Yeah.
was straight down the throat.
gotcha.
Good. All right, I don't even know what this is, okay? But I just like it.
Big old cat daddy bobber.
I don't know.
All right.
Is that what it is?
That's big old cat daddy bobber.
Yeah, that is. I don't think you guys use that very much bass fishing. Do you?
Hey, I think we ought to go get about 4 treble hooks
Yeah.
and place them straight down it into big old walking bait.
So
What do you
this,
do with it?
so this is a large float. They call it a float, not necessarily a bobber. So it's a large float that will allow you to fish for catfish or use bigger live bait in like a pay pond or something when you're, and I mean, it could be in the river too, right? But it's just a larger float that's pretty much going to hold up a larger or heavier bait, right, than your normal like small bluegill float.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yep.
That's what they use to catch those man-eater catfish. in
The
here.
man-eater catfish, that's right.
Them great old big ones.
Yep. Biggins.
That's great. That's all I got.
Awesome. That's all you got today?
That's all I got.
Awesome. Hey, while we're up here, do we have any questions, Randy, for anybody?
Yeah, do we have any comments?
We didn't go through a lot
We
of
didn't go
questions
through
Oh, we
tonight.
got comments.
Oh,
We got
okay.
Well,
We'll put them on the spot.
Rebecca Glasgow.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations, guys. I think
that's bypass bait and tackle.
You guys do an awesome job. Hello All by Clarence Belcher.
Yep.
Matt Smith Fishing.
Autumn
That
Autumn
guy?
Belcher, their daughter, right? Fishes,
Okay. Yep.
right? She's a great fisherman, good friend of
Wayne
ours.
Roberts is watching. Matt Smith Fishing says I know.
Yep. That's Matt. Good dude.
Wait a minute, hold on. Clarence says we used the old center console for the first year and stood out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. But you know what? What does it matter? Right? So
Oh,
they
wait a
use
minute.
this.
Sheila Pocket says, look at that sexy GC coach.
Oh, that would
Shelley.
that would be
She's right.
Coach
Shelly, what did I say?
Garrett County's wife.
Who?
So
Her name is Shelley.
Shelly. Shelly
Yeah.
Puckett.
yeah.
Get it right.
hey,
What did I say?
Sheila.
Oh, Sheila. I'm sorry. Hey.
I can't say she's wrong though. Can you?
Do any questions? Hey,
I mean, I can't say she's wrong.
is there any questions out there?
Hold on.
If we do,
Mr. Tony, hashtag Team Days.
Hopper, will you grab me a stick jacket?
Team
Where
Days.
the
No
stick jackets are.
questions. No questions.
Hanging
You know,
behind
stick
the
jackets
counter.
Hanging behind the counter on the
Okay,
wall.
hold on.
What is it?
Stick jacket.
So will you grab me a couple?
Questions.
Run, Troy.
Questions.
All
Well,
right.
I think it was. I mean, more understood. It probably wasn't a question.
Yeah, this is more
Yeah.
important than anything. So,
So I just asked for questions. Maybe we'll get.
yeah, no worries. We'll stay on a couple more minutes. Let me tell you a little bit about some few things coming up. So, next show
Oh yeah.
is going to be, usually we're 2 weeks. I'm super excited to announce next Wednesday. Next
I almost caught it without looking. That would have been
next
clean.
Wednesday, Byron Artrip from Artrip Floats. So this is an Artrip float company right here. He makes all types of different floats. He's going to come down.
That's green.
And-
It looks black.
Oh, It is. Sorry.
Great pick, Kent.
Anyway.
Great
Okay.
pick.
So anyway. Give me a different color.
Sorry.
So
Good
anyway.
hands, Steve.
So
It looks like a.
Hey, they
Byron
fly
Archer's
so
gonna
good.
be down.
Where are these pencils for?
Hey, listen.
Okay, sorry. I'm sorry.
Our
Get serious.
producer is getting a little out of control.
I'm hungry.
So Byron Archer is coming down
Fish for
from Dayton,
dinner?
Ohio, Wednesday night. We're going to do a float special. We're going to do about the evolution of floats. From the old traditional red and white floats,
Wow.
all the way up through spring to slip floats to what they call bobbers to, how you rig, wrong, right,
Go straight.
indifferent, in different types of way and so forth. And so we're going to talk a little bit about the evolution of floats. So we're super excited to have him down, and so that'll be exciting. I don't know what's going on. Welcome to doing this show with Ian Hurd.
I had to
This is
reach
the way
under
it
the
works.
desk and get
Anyway, this is called the 7-inch Fat Boy Float by Our Trip.
fits me just fine.
Yep, perfect. So you hold on to that. Great, thanks.
Fat boy.
Anyway, so he's going to be down, so we're super excited about that. Number 2, really quick. Can you do a random drawing? Can you do a random thing in our Facebook thing? Because Stick Jacket has sent us 2 free, and we'll do some more, but
Give me a giveaway now?
Now.
giveaway right now. So
Drive
just
us Cain
randomly
Pole, come get 'em.
find someone that's been watching the show.
How about Patrick Chase?
Patrick Chase,
Ooh, Garrett County boat.
Garrett County boat captain.
Send it home with Tony.
Right? His son is Ethan Chase, I believe, right?
All right.
That
Remember
fishes
that.
MBT. So, Patrick, I know you are, and Ethan, you all come up and see me, get a couple free stick jackets.
send them to
Thanks for tuning in.
Nice.
Hey guys, we went a little over, but thank you for coming. I want to thank our 2 guests, Will and Clay Oberman. Congratulations to them. Good luck, right, at the big boy tournament going on.
Big boy.
Secky Lake.
Baits that they need to take with them.
Yeah,
Cane pole.
we do. We'll get them some nice baits from the cane pole. All right. Number 2, thanks for Troy Blankenship from Madison Central High School and Tony Miracle from Garrett County High School for coming in and talking to us. Hopper's back there. He's not going to come on. He's Estill County High School bass coach. I will mention his name, whether he wants to or not. He's just back there hanging out, shaking his head at me right now. And then 3rd, I want to thank Charlie Evans for stopping by and just talking about Cape Casters a little bit. So
Charlie.
thanks for all of you.
And a shout out to Jimmy Gay.
So appreciate that.
Jimmy. He, big on when I first met Jimmy.
Yeah.
Big with the kids and
Yeah.
guy.
Awesome. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next Wednesday
For
the
special
float special with
edition.
Byron Our Trip.
Go GC.
Special edition.
All right. Okay, hold on.
Oh, we're still going.
Oh.
Our producer's not ready.
Hold on.
Oh.
But here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Thanks for watching the Cain Pole Fishing Show. Visit the Cain Pole in Southern Hills Plaza or on Facebook. Thanks for watching and happy fishing. The Cain Pole Fishing Show is brought to you by Lewis Veterinary Downtown Clinic, Purdy's Coffee, Big Hill and Downtown, and the Paddy Wagon Irish Pub.